Amnesty International's Colm paid a visit to DCU this week to talk about his work with Amnesty Ireland and more specifically the Syrian crisis. O'Gorman discussed Europe's position in the crisis and gave details of a visit he recently paid to Lebanon to express how dire the situation really is.
So I was in Lebanon a couple of weeks ago, visiting some of the informal tented settlements there, the settlements where Syrian refugees in Lebanon are living. And it was deeply disturbing and extraordinarily revealing and horribly fascinating to see the situation there. And even though I knew it, it's when you see it firsthand you begin to understand the pressures that people are under. We're in the midst of a global refugee crisis. There are about 60 million displaced people in the world today, and just under 20 million of those are formally recognised as refugees. So we have the largest refugee crisis since the Second World War, and it's a completely predictable crisis. We've seen it grow over the last 5 years or more.
O'Gorman also discussed other human rights issues, such as female genital mutilation and the proposal to repeal the Eighth Amendment.
So we are a country that have been brutalised by a conversation about abortion, and that means that we don't say the word, we don't have the conversation. It's really changing. There are women now who are coming out and talking about their experience. Tara Flynn, the comedian, Roisin Ingle, the Irish Times journalist who's spoken about it recently. We've been working with them, and they've been coming out and telling their stories.
The event was organised by the International Relations Society. I spoke to chairperson Joseph Dillon about organising the event.
Well, Colm is probably one of Ireland's most capable and active human rights defenders and activists. I mean, he was obviously really famous with the marriage equality campaign. He made a big name for himself, but prior to that, he was already a well-established human rights worker in Ireland. But I thought, people in DC would have been really interested in that because obviously the marriage equality campaign was a big thing for young people, and Colm O'Gorman was, I just thought he would really appeal to people. But what he did personally, he was going to Lebanon and he was actually looking at what they're doing on the ground and the situation that's there. And I think what's most interesting about Colm is that he's able to humanise.
I'm Megan Rowntree, DCUtv News.